Hello, everyone. And today I'm so excited. So this is yoga flow, but then we're also going to sprinkle in some strength training moves with the BOSU. So we're not going to do yoga on the BOSU. We'll kind of stop the yoga and then do some strength moves on there and go back and do yoga and go back and forth. That's how that's going to work. If you don't have a BOSU, you can totally do this with an aerobic step. And then if you feel like you've got a balance challenge issue today, this will be standing on it with one foot doing different moves. You can always bring in a weighted stick. If you've got that, you want to make sure that whatever surface you're working on, if you're using a stick or even like a mop pole or something like that, it's not going to slide out from underneath you. This is my 10-pound weighted stick that I'm going to use as an example. You can also have the back of a chair to help you as well. The weight is for those that want to add an extra layer of challenge and strength building to these moves, but it is 100% optional. I don't recommend the weight. If you've never done this before, do this first, make sure your form is great, and then you can bring in a weight as you need it. For the yoga portions, you might want a yoga block. We will use a strap towards the end when we stretch. Don't forget your water, and let's get started. So I'm going to take my feet about hip width apart here, zipping up nice and tight from the pubic bone to behind the navel. I'm just going to take my arms up and I'm just going to bend my knees. And you don't have to bend too much. I'm just going to kind of take this down here. Like inhale and exhale. Good. Now, as long as you're okay with it, you can bend just a little bit more each time. Good. Let's come up. Big inhale. Let's take a side bend. I'm going to my left. Watch your posture here. A lot of people do this forward collapse. So they're going into rotation. Try to keep your shoulder and your hip in alignment here. Could this arm be a little bit longer versus just bent so you can get a little bit more through that side body? So really reach. And coming back up, we'll do the same thing other side. Really reaching. Good. Watching that posture. And coming back up from here. Just get some rotations. Now I'm letting my hips and my knees and everything move with me. I'm also looking in the direction that I'm rotating. That's one way you can do it. If you want this to be a little bit more ab intensive, if you will, keep the hips and knees forward, only move from the torso. This takes some practice if you've never done it before. Good. And then just shake all of this out. We're going to get right into it with a half sun salute. So if you know that you need a block to help you, you can always have that right here. My feet are about hip width apart here. I'm just connecting with my breath for a moment. My intention today is building strength and resilience. And from here, big inhale and reach. Exhale, I'm going to bend and I'm going to fold. Hands to the floor, the block, the shins to the thighs, pressing through the feet and the legs. Lift and lengthen halfway. Nice long back, keeping a little bend in the knees. Exhale and we'll bow. Pressing through the feet and the legs. We'll come all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Let's do a modified sun salute A here. Big inhale and we'll reach. Exhale, we'll bend and we'll bow. Planting the hands, pressing through the feet and the legs. Lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, we'll bend and we'll bow. Planting the hands, we're going to step back to a plank. Knees can be down or lifted. If you're lifted, press through the heels. You want the thighs and the whole back side of the body here to be on line. And we're pressing up, we're protracted in the shoulders. Breathing. Finding the strength, fingers are spread wide. We'll drop those knees, untuck the toes. Elbows are going to turn forward. Elbows come straight back, grazing the sides of the body as you lower down. Good. You can give yourself a little wiggle here. I'm going to take my hands a little forward into the side, rolling the shoulders back. Good. Cobra progression flow, zipping up that front body. Inhale, finding a baby cobra, and then we'll lower. Inhale, is it the baby cobra? Are we going a little bit higher, like a medium cobra now? Careful not to hang in the back of the shoulders. And we'll lower that back in. Inhale, baby cobra, medium cobra, or a high cobra. exhale, lower down. We'll go again. We'll add on again. Find your baby, medium, or high cobra. And then those of you that want to go into an upward facing dog here, lower a little bit. Make sure your hands are more to the shoulders, tuck the toes. Good. You're going to push up, push with the feet to come forward. So you want to try not to pull with the shoulders to come forward. You want to push with the feet. And then from here, we'll lower that back down. Good. In, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Good. Hands under the shoulders. Stronger, more experienced yogis can tuck the toes, push up in a plank, sit back down dog. You can follow me through a tabletop position, tucking the toes, finding your down dog. Breathing. Good. Now this may be the first down dog you've done today. So feet are even, they're about hip width apart, pressing evenly to the big toe and pinky toe mound. Knees can be bent or they can be lengthened. Shoulders are away from the ears, they're protracted here. Elbows are turning towards the pointer and the middle finger. My head and neck is free. You can lift and lower the heels. You can walk your dog. You can bend and stretch the knees. The lower you take the knees, the harder you will make it. Good. And then from here, once you're ready, from your down dog, inhale, look forward, bend the knees. Push with the feet and the legs. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway, neck long back. Exhale, we'll bend and we'll bow. From here, planing the hands, pressing through the feet and the legs. As we rise, legs always take the load. Exhale, hands to heart center. Finding your breath, finding that intention, finding your mountain. We're going to do that a couple times. So you choose to take or skip the flow. You know all the modifications now. Operate in the way that's safe for your body to operate. Big inhale and we'll reach. Exhale, we'll bend and we'll planting the hands. Lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, we'll bend and we'll bow. Planting the hands. Step or hop back to plank. You choose. Take or skip a flow. I'm going to take a modified one. I'm kind of rehabbing a little bit of a shoulder issue here. Good. Taking it back. And finding the breath. Reconnect for a moment. From that downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward, bend the knees, pushing with the feet and the legs. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hips. Lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, we'll bend and we'll bow. Planting the feet, using the legs to rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. One more. Inhale and we'll reach. Exhale, we'll bend and we'll bow. Inhale, press through the legs, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, we'll bend and we'll bow. Planting the hands. Step or hop back to plank. You choose. Take or skip a flow. Those of you that are experiencing perimenopause, menopause, frozen shoulder is a real thing. Do be mindful of it. Stretch as you can from that downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward, bending the knees, pushing through the feet and the legs. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Pressing through the feet and the legs, lift and lengthen halfway. And exhale, we'll bend and we'll bow. Pressing through, coming all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Take a moment, come back into the breath. Come back to intention, strength and resilience. Building resilience through strength. Good. We're going to take this into a sun salute B, and then we're going to get to some BOSU moves here. So I'm going to make sure my feet are about hip width apart. If you don't have a back issue or something like that, you can always take the feet and the legs together. But from here, I'm going to zip up nice and tight. I'm going to sit back into my chair, relaxing the shoulders. You should be able to pick up the toes here, wiggle the toes around, find the heel, find the glutes and the backs of the legs. Good. Now, if you want to take this a little bit harder and it's okay for you, good. You can come a little bit lower. Inhale, exhale, and we'll fold. Inhale, pressing through the feet and the legs. Lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, we'll bend and we'll bow. Planting the hands. step or hop back to plank. You choose, take or skip the flow. Elbows are always in on the flow. If you're taking full up dog, you're pushing forward through the feet. Good. Once ready, once you're in your down dog, the left leg's gonna lift 3-point, bending that knee, pushing with the right foot and the leg to come forward, stepping or picking up and putting that left foot forward between the hands. Now, something here, I'm just gonna take a moment and find this length, find a little power move here. If you've got a low back issue, sciatica, something like that, the warrior one doesn't always feel good. So you can stay here in parallel row tracks in the high crescent. If you don't have any of those issues and you know warrior one is okay for you, go ahead now and rotate that right hip. Everything's going to turn out 45-ish degrees. Pressing through the back edge of the back foot, pressing into that front heel will rise. Good. Front hip comes back, zipping up that front body, relaxing the shoulders. While we're here, let's just get a nice little back bend just because they feel good. Strong through the back edge of the back leg. And then we'll come up. Big inhale. Exhale, lengthen. Slow and controlled. Watch that front knee as you come down. Swivel up the back foot if you took warrior. Right foot's going to step back. You choose take or skip a flow. I'm going to skip this one. Breathe. Once you've made it back to your down dog, we'll do that same thing on the other side. Right leg's going to lift 3-point, bending that knee, pushing forward through that left leg. Step or pick up and put that right foot forward between the hands. Just like the other side, take a moment, find that pause, find your length. And we're going to stay here. We're going to warrior prep. And I'm going to warrior prep myself. Good. Pressing through that front heel and the edge of the back leg, back edge of the foot. Good. Coming up. Good. Front hip will come back. Find your warrior one. Zipping up through that front body. We'll take that little back bend. Inhale. Good. And then on the exhale, pressing through that back leg, watching that front knee. Good. Slow and controlled descent back to the floor. Putting the hands, swivel up the back foot if you took warrior. Front foot will step back. Take or skip a flow. Good. From down dog when you're ready. Inhale, look forward, bend the knees. Push with the feet and the legs as you come forward, bending the knees. Let the head shake, yes? Let the head shake, no. Pressing through the feet and the legs, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, and we'll bend and we'll bow. Good. Pressing through the feet and the legs, we're going to come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Reconnecting with the breath, reconnecting with that intention. Excellent. All right, let's get to the BOSU. So I'm going to use my legs here, not my back, to pick this up. Now there's different sizes of BOSU. This is a little bit of a smaller one. This is the sport one. There are bigger ones out there. I don't think one is necessarily better than the other. The sport one, the smaller one, is cheaper. And I will say that. Okay, so what we're going to do here, and I'm going to start with my left side. I'm going to give you some different options. So what you're going to do is you're going to stand to the side. You want to make sure your whole foot is in the center part of that BOSU. And so then you also want this foot to be forward. So we don't want it to be turned out or doing funny things here. And then what you're going to do, good, is that you're just going to basically squat. You're going to push a little bit more through this side and come up. Okay. If you need to, remember, you can always hold on to a pole. And you may not need that here, but if you want to take an option where you lift and come down or lift here, then you might. Okay. So just different options. And then again, once you know what you're going to do and you want more of a challenge, you can take a weight. I recommend using smaller weights first if you've never worked with weights before, and you'll be weighted on the side. So you can go here, the same thing here. Good. So it's a little bit of a balance challenge as well as a power move. So these are just options that that I showed you. Now we're going to do it for real. So from here, I am going to take the knee and the leg option here. But if you just need to lift because that's all you need, then that's all you need. 10 times. Here we go. Go. 1, whoops, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Whew, I'm feeling it over here in the thigh. Hope you are too. And we'll just move to the other side. Here we go. Get set. Make sure that foot is in the center part here. Reset any props that you're using here that you may need. And here we go again. You're in press. 1, 2, 3, 4. Use the core to pull it up. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Woo! I feel it in my buns and my thighs. Great work, everybody here. I'm going to use my leg to move this out of the way. We're going to take this back into another sun salute B here. So from here, once we're ready, big inhale, sit back into the chair. Maybe catch the breath. Always take a water break as needed. Inhale, exhale. Good. Pressing through the feet and the legs. Lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, we'll bend and we'll bow. Planting the hands. Step or hop back to plank. You choose. Take or skip that flow. Good. From that downward facing dog when you're ready. Left leg's gonna lift 3, point, bend that knee. Push with the foot. Step and pick up and put it there if you need to. Warrior prep if you're taking the warrior. Coming all the way up. Reach, reach, reach. The front hip comes back. Now this time, my left leg is forward. I'm gonna take my right hand to the right hip. We're just gonna get a side bend here. Towards the right. And coming back and reach. Good. Strong, slow descent on the way back to the floor. Landing the hands. Swivel up the back foot. Front foot steps back. Take or skip a flow. I'm going to skip this one. Good. Right leg's going to lift 3, point, bending that knee. Pressing with the left foot forward. Stepping or picking up and putting that right foot forward. Go ahead, take warrior prep if you're going to take that. Rise. Warrior 1. Front hip can come back. Good. Now just like the other side, because the right leg is forward, right arm's going to stay up. Left hand's going to come to the left hip. Good. We'll take that side bend towards the left. Yeah, heart rate might still be up from the BOSU. That's okay. Do take breaks as you need to. Coming back up and reach. Good. Long, strong, slow descent as you come back to the floor. Planting the hands, swivel up back foot. Front foot steps back. Take or skip a flow. Good. Taking a moment. And then child's pose available to you at any time. From that down dog, inhale, look forward, bend the knees, pushing with the feet and the legs. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward, meet your hands. We'll lift and lengthen halfway, nice long back. Exhale, we'll bend and we'll bow. Pressing through the feet and the legs. We'll come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Finding breath, finding mountain, finding intention. Good. We're going to do that again. So grab the BOSU, lift with the legs, not with the back. Place that in the center of the space. I think I will use a weight this time. Okay. So getting set up, puts in the center. Remember, everything here is going the same thing. Good. And here we go. Go. 1, 2, a little slower with the weight. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Woo! starting to wonder why I picked up the weight, but now I've got to do it on the other side. I got to be even. So from here, once you're ready, it's stable. Hold on to something if you need to. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Woo! All right. That is a challenge for sure. My weight's a 10-pound, but I think any weight would be a challenge. I'm going to pick this up, put it to the side, and come back. Okay. So next thing we're going to do, we're going to go back to yoga. We're going to do a slow pace dancing warrior flow. This will include a humble warrior and a extended side angle. So if you want to block for those, I recommend having one available to you. Good. And I'm going to start with that on my left side. Heart rate's up. Okay, big inhale and we'll reach. Exhale, we'll bend and we'll bow. Pressing through the feet and the legs. Lift and lengthen half. Exhale, we'll bend and we'll bow. Good. Planting the hand. Step or hop back to plank. You choose take or skip your flow. I'm going to skip this one. Once you're ready, the left leg's going to lift 3 points, bending that knee. Push with that back foot to step or pick up and put that left foot forward between the hands. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Good. We're going to warrior prep that back foot heel to arch. You're a little bit wider. That foot pressing into your feet will come up. Good. So set up for a good warrior 2. Front hip comes back hip will come forward. Try not to shift the hips as you take the chest to the side. There's your warrior 2. Front knee tracks towards the pinky toe. Breathing. Zipping up through that front body. Inhale. Exhale. We'll take it back into exalted. Good. Now, because we're doing this really slow today, if you like to wrap or bind here, feel free to go. Go there. Inhale. Exhale. Back to warrior 2. Inhale. Hands are going to come by behind you. Exhale. So I'm going to watch that front knee. It tracks towards the pinky toe, and I'm going to come in here. I'm keeping length in the torso. It's a humble warrior. You can always put a hand down if you need to, or bring in a block. Good. Try to keep length. And pressing into the feet and the legs. We'll take that back up. Good. Reset warrior 2. Good. I'm going to lengthen my front leg here as I come back. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, finding that good warrior 2. Good. Taking this into extended side angle. So I'm really going to press here. I want to find the length. Length, length, length. Forearm can come to the thigh here. Just make sure you're not collapsing there. You want to be lifted as you open and twist to the side. You can take your arm anywhere that feels good to you. You can also bring in a block here. And I like a block on this one because the block allows me to get actually deeper in this pose, a deeper range of motion in this knee. So then when I come up and open, I've got that nice long diagonal line. So blocks are not a crutch. They're there to help you get deeper into poses. Breathing. And when ready, looking down at that front foot. Good. I'm going to lengthen out of there. Woo. There we go. Finding that warrior 2. Always do what's best for you. Help yourself if you need to. We're going to take it back exalted. Almost done with this side. Inhale. Exhale back to warrior 2. Make it your best one on this side. It's your last one on this side. Inhale. Exhale, we'll cartwheel that down. Swivel up the back foot, front foot steps back. You choose. Take or skip a flow. Breathe, take a moment. Good. While you're there, I'm just going to turn around here to the other side, just so that my back side is not to you. And then once you're ready, right leg's gonna lift 3 points, bending that knee, pushing from that left leg to take you forward, step or pick up and put that right foot forward between the hands. We'll warrior prep here. Get strong into the feet and the legs. Front hip comes back, chest opens to the side, and we'll reach. Warrior two. Relaxing the shoulders, zipping up that front body. Good. Inhale, exhale, exalted. Inhale, exhale, finding the warrior two. Inhale, exhale, we'll come into the humble warrior, rolling the shoulders back, keeping that length. The hand can come down. You come onto the block if you need to. Relax the face. Inhale, exhale, coming up, finding warrior two. Inhale, exhale, come back, find exalted. Inhale, exhale, finding warrior two. Inhale, exhale, we'll find extended. Reach, lengthen, go to where you're gonna go here. Again, I'm gonna bring in my block so I can come into this a little bit deeper. Good. Opening that chest to the side, breathing. And then once ready, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. I'm gonna lengthen this leg here. Am I exalted? Inhale, exhale, warrior two. Make it your best one. It's the last one on this side. Inhale, exhale, cartwheel that down. Leaning the hands, swiveling up the back foot. Front foot steps back. Take or skip a flow. Good. Finding that downward facing dog. Down dog when you're ready. Inhale, look forward, bend the knees, pushing with the feet and the legs. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Pressing through the feet and the legs, so lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, we'll bend and we'll bow. Pressing through the feet and the legs, we're gonna come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Finding your breath, your mountain, and it's something I also forgot to say here. If you don't have a BOSU, but you have a balance pad, that will work just as well, especially for this next one we're gonna do. Good, so I'm gonna squat to pick up my BOSU. And bring it back to your center. Good, so we're just gonna go to a basic balance challenge. So again, if you need to hold on to a bar, back of the chair, something like that, totally okay. So I'm gonna start on that left side again. My foot is on the center part. Good, and I'm just gonna step up. Good, zipping up. This might have to keep a toe here for a moment. You will have a little bit of wobble. That's okay. And then maybe you can balance here. Taking hands anywhere that you can take them. Woo! And when we're ready, we'll take that down. Shake out that leg. We'll take it to the other side. So try to stay there for about 3 to 5 breaths or so. That's what we're going for, just like we would be if we were doing a balance challenge on the floor. Good. So get your bearings. This is my weaker side here. You know what? I'm just not going to risk it. I'm just going to put here. Good. Never do something to risk an injury. Good. So I've just got a fingertip here to help me. I'm not putting all my weight into my stick. I'm just getting all the balances, all of the benefit of doing this balance on this leg. And then we'll take that out. Good, and shake that out. Okay, I'll move this out of the way. Good. We're gonna move the BOSU back out of the way. We're gonna come to the floor, so I'm just gonna move this over here. Make sure your strap is handy while you're down here. We're just gonna come to a seat. Good. Now from here, I'm sitting nice and tall. I'm gonna take the soles of the feet together, zipping up nice and tight. For some of you, this is gonna be enough. Others, you're gonna lean forward here with the long back. So the lean is coming from the hip. So we don't wanna do a C curve punch here. We wanna keep that length. Shoulders are back, chest is a little bit more forward. Good, and we'll come out. We'll take the legs wide. Good. So I had just adjusted my hip. So what I did is I brought my pelvis into an anterior tilt. So I took my tailbone more behind me and the hip bone more forward. That helps me sit a little bit better for this next one. So we're gonna be walking out forward here. What I want you to do is make sure that you're not out at your widest possible, which for me would be out here. I want my body to have space to move, so I'm gonna bring them in just a little bit here. Keeping a little micro bend in the knee. You can always sit on a folded blanket or pillow, toes, knees, and hips facing the ceiling. Long back, zip up. We're just gonna walk this out. Good. Now these stretches should feel good here after all that we just did on that BOSU. Sometimes BOSU work gets into my back just a little bit there, so I want to make sure that we stretch that out. And then some of you, you might go ahead and take the chest to the floor if you've got that. I don't have that right now. Forearms might come. I do have that. And then I'm going to come up and walk back in. With that tall spine, I'm going to rotate towards my left. I'm just going to walk my hands out to the left. I want this hip to stay anchored to the floor as I come out here. If this is all too much, you can modify that by bringing this foot in. I'm going to take this out again. I want a nice long torso. Breathing. Noticing a little bit of a stretch maybe through the side. Good. We'll walk that back up. We're going to walk out back center again. Notice how this one compares to that first one we did just a moment ago. Now I'm going to walk this back out. Maybe you can come out a little bit farther, maybe not. Breathing. We'll take that back. Good. Going to the other side. Take that foot in modification if you need it. We're going to rotate here to my right. I'm just going to walk this out. Good. My left hip is anchored. So a nice stretch on that left side. Ready? We'll walk it back up and come back to center. One more time. We're going to walk this back through. Again, notice that how it compares to the first one, second one. And breathing. And we'll take that back up. Good. We're going to kind of put a little bit of relief in the hips here. Take your feet back together here. Just kind of let that settle down a little bit. And then once you're ready, Good. We're going to come back and work on the BOSU. This time we're going to do a plank, okay? A plank. And you can choose a different types of planks here. We're going to take this and we're going to turn it over on the blue side, okay, and have this here. Now, I'm going to do an up high plank, meaning I'm going to be on my hands. You can also do this on the forearms here. You can have your knees down or knees lifted. So you choose the plank that's appropriate for you. This will wobble, but that's strengthening these muscles here. Everything else, you want the same form that you would do if you were doing any other kind of plank. So from here, I'm going to take my hands here. Good, and then take it back. Good. My belly button is in. Good. I'm finding that length. Good. Protract, press away. Now, depending on if you want a little bit more challenge, maybe you want to dip that just a little bit more to the right, not too far. And then taking that back to center, maybe just a little bit to the left, but not too far, and come back to center. Good. We'll take that down. Good. Let that assist you in a little child pose. We're going to do one more. We're going to do one more. Good. And then once you're ready, you can do the same plank you just did, or you can do a different one. I'm going to do the same one up on my hands. So whenever you're ready, good. Find your plank. We're protracting. Good. Belly button's in nice and tight. We're still breathing. And then if you want that little bonus, we can come just a little bit over towards the left and come back in. And maybe just a little bit more towards the right. And then come back into center. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And take that down. Child's pose. All right. We're going to come out of here. We are officially done with the BOSU for this class. So I'm just going to take that and place it to the side here. I'm going to grab my strap and we're going to come onto our back. Take this clip out here. Good. And then once you're here, if you need to, readjust any clothing, rolling the shoulders back, what have you, take your feet as wide as the mat. Zipping up through that front body, letting the knees just gently come from one side to the other. Just rolling this nice, stretchy little point in the back and the torso. And then we'll come back to center. I'm going to grab the strap here. Good. So what we're going to do here, good, is we're going to do this in a little bit of a circle. So belly button's in nice and tight. I'm just going to have a lower grip. So this is a controlled circle, but you still have some abdominal work here. Both hips stay on the floor. Let's reverse. Just kind of working out some tightness in that hip after the BOSU work. Good. From here, I'm going to choke up, but my upper body is going to stay on the floor. I'm going to bring that leg in. Good. The more you point your toes towards the face, the deeper the stretch you'll get. The more you point towards the ceiling, the less intense of a stretch you will get. Keep a little micro bend in that knee. We'll gently release both pieces of the strap into the left hand. I'm going to take my left leg long. Now I'm going to let that leg come over to the left. I'm going to pause there. How does it feel? Does it feel good or not so great when the leg is long? Does it feel better or not so great when the leg is bent? Pay attention to what you feel. If you want more, maybe moving the foot around from the ankle, finding some extra special space. Then you can stay at that spot or you can take it over. Good. So I'm a little too close to the wall. Good. You want to keep this opposite shoulder down here, but you want to keep that foot and that hip at the same height. So we don't want that foot to flop on the floor. That's especially true if you've got something going on here. So prop that up with a block if you can't hold it there on your own. Good. And then we'll come back. Good. And then we'll do that to the other side. So I'm just going to do a little mid-air switcheroo here. Good. Lower grip. Belly buttons in nice and tight. Find your circles. Let's reverse directions of the circle. Good. And then once you're ready, good, you can choke up. We'll bring it in, keeping a little micro bend in that knee. Good. And then find your optimal stretch here, whatever that looks like for you. And coming back, right leg's going to come long. Both pieces of the strap are going to come into the right hand. Good. I'm going to arc over. So just like before, does this feel worse or better when the leg is long versus bent? Do you find, ooh, that's extremely special right there. Do you find special spaces when you move the foot around from the ankle? Good. And then you can choose to stay there or taking that leg over, keeping the foot in line with the hip, left shoulder on the floor, maybe looking to the left, breathing and expanding. And we'll come back up, removing that foot from the strap. Good. Bringing the knees into the chest, and we'll rock, rock, rock side to side. Maybe rolling ankles around in one direction and then in the other. We're going to go into a short shavasana from here. Actually, you know what? Before we do that, I think it would be good if we took a figure four. Let's take a real quick figure four to each side. The hips work pretty hard. So I'm just going to start on my right side, right ankle, left knee, and just come in, find that. Oh, yes, that was a good decision. Taking that nice figure four. The strap gets into some places, but sometimes you just need to have a nice, hurt so good figure four. And release. And we'll take that to the other side. And find your figure four. And our upper body's grounded in figure four. And once you're ready, good. Releasing and setting yourself up for Shavasana. So your hold, you can bring in any prop that you want to here. You can let everything flop open. I like the constructive rest. I'm going to bend my knees. You can be on the side or the belly if the low back's a little sensitive here. And then from here, kind of make yourself about 10% more comfortable. I'm going to leave you here for a few short minutes. Good. Trusting your mat and the earth to support you. Kind of sinking in a little bit, returning to breath and intention. Please take some deeper breath. Finding movement of the fingers and the toes. Maybe gently taking the head and neck from side to side. You're welcome to bring your knees into the chest. Maybe a full body stretch would feel better to you right now. And reaching from the fingers to the toes. And then once you're ready, Bending in both knees, rolling over to your right or left side, taking all the time that you need here. And when you're ready, we'll bring ourselves up to a comfortable seat. Where I often start a yoga practice, but not today. Sitting nice and tall, noticing how you feel, hopefully a little bit looser, yet a little bit stronger, a little bit more resilient. Fingertips to the side, palms turning up will come up. Good. We'll bring those hands down, touching the thumbs to the forehead for good and true thoughts. To the lips for good and kind words, and to the heart for open and loving heart. Knowing no effort on this mat is ever wasted. No gain is ever reversed. May you be safe. May you stay well. Have a wonderful day, evening, week, month, season ahead. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.